Living life like primitives, the young man and the daughter were looking from time to time if a ship was passing by. Excerpt from a Greek song by Bost. Now I think I will borrow his quote and have it tailor-made. Sadhu wrote, and I, like a medieval monk, copied that the best preparation for death is a life well spent. Well and right spent doesn't mean offering remission of sins to every bitten lady who, by oppressing herself, though she paid her dues, and that was enough. Nor to every bitten man who wears every morning his suit and runs to make a living. The need for survival is the canvas on which the embroidery of life must be woven. I strongly recommend to those who, in their way, deprive others of the possibility to be humans, to be very careful. They bear the responsibility for this decision, and, according to me, their sin belongs to the category of crimes against the Holy Spirit. Google it, and you will see what it means. You will be scared, not only because the second death is something we do not understand, but because things are much worse. Let's get over the first obstacle. What makes the way we live the right way? Indeed, not what Bost wrote. Living life like primitives, the young man and the daughter were looking from time to time if a ship was passing by. If you look from time to time, one thing is for sure. The ship has sailed, and you're left looking at your sweetheart's eyes. Sensuality in life is not what the thinker suggests. What is it then? Your guess is as good as mine. Who will save us? The aliens or the angels? The life we seek to understand hides in conceiving the acts that serve the creation's plan. Big words that cover several truths, but we once again tailor them to our needs. Raising children is such a truth, for example. The truth that lies in the process, nevertheless, is not to raise children, but to form free people. A challenging task to achieve, since to fulfill it, we too must be free. One of our goals should, therefore, be trying to become free. Kazantzakis, to show the difficulty of such a decision, ends his novel The Fratricides by writing, "He wants to live free, kill him." That is what I am talking about. So I choose to examine further 4 of many concepts that have to characterize the lonesome way of the modern man: abandonment, sincerity, faith, and courage. The first step is abandonment. Abandonment, yes, but to what? To God? To divine consciousness? To my fellow man? All essential questions that may arise to those seeking some truth, but who refuse to take their original question one step further. Our abandonment must be first to the inner faith in man. I place this in the general process we must make for our external self, to respond to our inner desire, to the part that knows what we don't. This is, in fact, an abandonment to the divine consciousness, because the identification of the ego with our inner personality is nothing more than the identification of our existence with the most beautiful, pure, kind, and great that we keep deep inside us. The next step is sincerity, or else the clarity of the soul that starts from the external and must extend to the depth of our soul. This is a step we must take for our mental perfection. Let us not wait for the Master to appear before us and say, "My child, from now on, everything will go well. I redeem you from your struggles. I grant you perfection." This act will never happen if not for other reasons than because nobody has this right, no matter how great of a teacher he is. It will be our victory as well as our struggle. If we observe ourselves, we will find a lot of contradictions. We believe in one thing and express another. We desire different things from what we are seeking. We promise other things than what we deliver. There is no end to these differences. Where does the honesty lie? Nowhere, because we are merely dishonest to our own selves. Of course, this path is tough, but there is no other way. The sooner we figure it out, the better. We will gain toil, anxiety, and we will earn a life. Because sincerity, among others, means life. Whoever lives for himself owns every minute of his life. Whoever lives for questionable attitudes and fake social relationships will not gain anything in his esoteric life. Following is faith. What does faith mean, though? To what degree can one declare that he believes? Is it possible to believe and yet have inhibitions? Can you have faith and not give yourself utterly to the idea, in whatever you believe in, with a commitment that knows no limits? Quote without comments. I know your works. You are neither cold nor hot. I wish that you were either cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. Revelation 3:15-16. Knowledge and faith are certainly not synonymous concepts. They are not even opposites. They are independent, different. Eliphas Levi writes, among others, in a dialogue between science, faith, and logic, the following. Logic. So work and seek science, but respect the visions of faith. When your doubts leave gaps in global enlightenment, allow faith to cover them. This is where the doubt lies. Uncertainty is a research syndrome. Last but not least is courage, which is directly related to the mental vigor from which it comes. Persons without psychological vitality are excluded from having the courage to fight, and they certainly cannot see the visions that moral superiority gives. What is courage? Courage is the power of acting beyond the personal interest of the proclamations of the inner self. That is why purification is necessary. Only that way the inner self can be heard. That is why sincerity is required, because only then the inner self is identified. Let's get back to Bost as song, as I suddenly felt a burden in my chest, but not before we put another question. Is there any assistance, anything that will help us? I am sure that there will be a long queue of people that offer to answer this question. These suggestions come with strange names. Most of them are difficult to understand immediately. Yoga, Tantra Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Theosophy, Tao, Zen, Andromedians, angel-formed, and so many countless philosophies and pulp fictions. Please note, I do not reject anything. Everything, even the most foolish, can offer you something. My personal advice has to do with the preschool period. Think of all the above as the universities. God have mercy. And try to see what they propose for kindergarten. My suggestion is 3 books, 3 small books. The first is The Little Prince by Saint Exupéry, Lessons of Humanity and Humility. The second is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, lessons that put our soul in order and teaches us how to act in each case. The third book is The Saviors of God by Kazantzakis. We need this book to free our spirit and state. You and I are one, and this one does not exist. I just remembered an old saying, and I quote, "The one who hasn't seen a castle looks at a bakery and admires it." I leave it to your discretion to determine which are the bakeries and which is the castle. P.S. It is midsummer, and you bewilder us with such theories. Don't you know that such ships don't sail at this time? I know, my dear friends, but do not forget that we are responsible for our choices. At the end of the day, if you happen to see a ship, shake your hand in a farewell and wish it a good trip. Obviously, it has not come for you.